Art Rooney addressed the media at the end of the year like he do at the end of each season, talking about that season, what's going on, future moves, and things like that. Art Rooney did not sound, let's say, he didn't sound too concerned. I don't know if that's the right word. Let's see. He didn't sound too mad about what's going on. Okay. He sounds like it's pretty comfortable, in his recliner, got his remote in his hand, watching his show, maybe smoking a cigar. Sounded real comfortable. Jim Rooney came out first trying to promote a book, but came out and said some things, and people were wondering, man, is this the way Art, is this what, the Rooneys, is he giving us an insight of what's really going on or what's really being said, the conversations that were being held behind closed doors? We've been above the mean, for the past 25 years. We got the Ravens and the division. And to get to the Super Bowl, we have to go through Mahomes, Manning, who hasn't played in a long time. So, but still had to go through him when he played. So, kind of making excuses. Not kind of, was making excuses for why the Steelers are underachieving or why things are the way they are, because they got the Ravens in a division. You got to go against Mahomes. Okay? It's not as easy as you guys think. All right? And a lot of people didn't like that. So now fast forward to Art Rooney. Pretty much saying the same things. We asked about Tomlin. Well, hey, he's won in this league. All right. That's okay. He's won in this league. That's cool. Coaching staff. We're going to keep the coaches status quo, basically. Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, and Omar Khan is at the Senior Bowl. So that's an indication that Arthur Smith is coming back. I believe Terrell Austin may be there too. He's coming back. So there's no change. So how frustrated and how mad are you that you say, hey, my inbox is full? So he's getting the emails. He's getting all that. Inbox is full. But what you do, you bring back the coaching staff. And we know Mike Tomlin is the coach. And we do know Mike Tomlin has the power. They give him the power to hire and fire his guys. But we also know Rooney's the owner. And the owner trumps the coach. Well, at least that's what should happen. But when the owner is too relaxed with his remote in his hand, watching the show, so I think the Steelers have a Art Rooney problem. People say, hey, man, it's fire Tomlin, do this, do that. Mike Tomlin ain't going nowhere. Art Rooney is comfortable with being with making the playoffs. You heard him. We're a playoff team again this year. Jim Rooney, yeah, we make the playoffs. You heard it twice. Playoff team. We're a playoff team. We make the playoffs. That's what it's all about now. Standards change. It has officially changed. Jim Rooney gave us a preview, and people were saying, "Hey, man, maybe he was just promoting a book, man. We're not going to read into too much of him. Let's wait until Art speak, and we'll really get the scoop." Art's pretty much sound the same. So now, if you think the Steelers are going to make a drastic quarterback change, now I wouldn't count it out. Omar Khan did some things, that wasn't how the Steelers operated. Once he took over, kind of did things his way, the Omar way. So you can't say things like that won't happen. But if you got an owner who's happy with being a playoff team, and they're not going to rock the boat too much, they're not going to do too much. They didn't even really change the coaching staff. I mean, you might have a strength and conditioning coach that may get fired. Somebody's going to go, but it's not. The main pieces are coming back. We already knew Mike Tomlin. We're not talking about Mike Tomlin because after this, no need to talk about Mike Tomlin no more. Because for one, he's not going nowhere, because Rooney said when you have a good coach, and he said he believes all the way in Mike, you got to build and work with him. So Mike ain't going nowhere. After he got the extension and things like that, he ain't going nowhere. So, and now, with the way Rooney talking, man, how can you be optimistic about next season? I mean, you want to be. Let's get back to work, man. This draft is coming up. Let's do this. But when your owner sound like he just, nobody's going to stop coming to the games, man. It sounds like the business is good enough. People say, man, I'm going to stop going to the games and I'm going to turn my season tickets in. We'll teach Rooney. No, you won't. Because as fast as you turn your season tickets in, somebody will be getting that phone call and say, hey, you're up. We got some season tickets for you. And they're going to take it. So the Steelers, the way the fan base works, die hard, you're always going to have fans in the stands unless the team is really, really bad. But the way the fan base is, I mean, you're going to be mad. But people's going to Acrisure. I mean, you seen it, Franco Harris game. It was cold, really cold. And there was more people in there than people thought. That and the tickets were really low. So that may be, but it's this type of fan base. It's always going to have support. Mad as people are, there's always going to be people going to those games. So he's not going to lose no money. He knows that. You say, hey, man, hopefully the show goes off and he leans up off that lazy boy recliner and he snaps out of it and say, we got to get with the times. We got to do some things. But that don't sound like that's happening no time soon. Being a playoff team, being above the mean, being in it, that's the word. he likes to use, being in it. We're always in it. Now, you ask yourself, yeah, you always in it. Yeah, that's fine. You want to make it to the Super Bowl, you have to be in a dance. So being in it is, it's half the battle, right? But ask yourself, and let's be serious. Let's be honest. Take the past couple years for example. Yeah, you were in the past couple years, this year, last year. But did you really have a chance? Do you really have a chance? This year, did anybody think the Steelers were going to make a Super Bowl run? After losing, after the regular season ended the way it did? Do you think they had a real shot? To a true Steeler fan, we always got a shot, man. Shoot, we get out there. You get out there on that field, man, anything can happen. We get that, but let's put the real caps on. Nah. You didn't think they would. Nah. How about last year? You going to Buffalo with Mason Rudolph. You feeling confident? Your hopes high? You putting some money on it? Nah, I don't think so. You gonna watch it and root. And man, anything can happen now. But so just being in it ain't good enough. You gotta be competitive in it. And that's something the Steelers haven't been. So, this just being a playoff team, man, that's the new standard. Because if you're not a threat to make the Super Bowl, let alone win it, then you just average. You're in a bucket like everybody else. You hoping and wishing like everybody else. You ain't making no real noise. And for the past couple years in the playoffs, I'm just using recency bias. Recent times. What have you done for me lately with, in terms? And that's nothing. No playoff wins, not even being competitive in the playoffs. Recent playoff games that you thought the Steelers were going to win. When the last time that was. It's a harsh reality, man, but you got to be real about it. Got to be real about it. And the reality is, man, the way Art Rooney talk, man, man, it doesn't sound like he give a damn. Let's just be honest with you. Let's just be honest here. Just laid back talking. The tone of voice was just so smooth and, we'll take a look at this and we'll take a look at that and we'll bring all the coaches back and there's no urgency. There's no urgency. Last year, it's about winning playoff wins. That's what you said last year. It's about playoff wins. Didn't say that this year. You know why? Why didn't he say that this year? Last year he said it was about playoff wins. This year he said, well, we didn't. Why didn't he say it was about playoff wins this year? Because the standard has changed. It's just to make the playoffs. That's why he said we're a playoff team again this year. Because that's all it was about. It ain't about winning it. You said that last year to get the fans to, I'm with you guys. Now, like I said, he leaned that recliner back. He turned that show on. He got a little lax, and it's like, well, we're a playoff team, man. I mean, we got to play the Ravens. I mean, we got to go through Mahomes. I mean, what do you want us to do? We made the playoffs. It's not the Steelers. Not the Steelers, I know, at least. I mean, if you look at it, you got to give Mike Tomlin a little credit when he made the quarterback change. And they were winning games. But he wanted to get better. So you got to at least give him that. And it did. The quarterback, you seen the quarterback play, he got better. Then it went down, but he said, hey, good is not to be confused with great. Yeah, we got good quarterback play, but let's see if we can get it a little bit better, man. We got to go up against Allen, Mahomes, and those guys, man. Lamar and Burrow in the division. We got to get just a little bit better on the quarterback play. So he had the right idea. He didn't get complacent and say, hey, man, we just going to ride this thing out with Fields, man. We're good. He's seen a little improvement. It can be some improvement. Let's go for it. So you got to give him that. Where's that at in Rooney? We've been making the playoffs, but let's not get that confused with what we're really trying to do. And if you feel like, hey, things are getting out of control, it's time for you to step on in. If you got to hire some coaches, your damn self. Fire some coaches, your damn self. Go to the Senior Bowl, your damn self. That's what you do. You're the owner of the team. You got to do what it takes. You got to rise up. Being a playoff team ain't the Steelers. You got 6 Lombardis. I mean, come on now. This is kind of at a loss for words myself. That ain't it, man. So you look at teams, man. You can go down a list on how teams operate. It's all about progression. It's all about getting better, man. And Rooney don't sound like that's in his that's not on his mind. Making them playoffs, selling them tickets. Yeah. That sounds about right. Jersey sales ain't going nowhere. Memorabilia. People ain't going to stop buying merchandise. So it sounds bad when you hear them talking with no urgency. So where do you go from here as a Steeler fan? If you're not optimistic about next year, where do you go? I mean, it's tough, right? When you hear your owner basically say, as long as we make the playoffs, we're a playoff team. He didn't say it, but you can read between the lines. You can put it together yourself. So, Art Rooney has spoke. I don't think he said what the fans wanted to hear. But I guess, he can't hide. You can't hide it no more. And that's why the playoff wins wasn't put it in there, because it's obvious that's not what it's about. The Super Bowl thing is not put it in there because it's obvious that's not what it's about. It's just being a playoff team and being above average. That's what it's about now. Basically said it, confirmed it. So, Steeler fans, how do you feel? How do you feel about the Art Rooney? I would say it was a press conference, but a Q&A. The Art Rooney Q&A, interview, whatever you want to title it. How do you feel? And are you optimistic about next season? I want to hear from some fans, man. I want to. I mean, what's the word? What's the vibes? How you feeling? I mean, some people might be relieved and say, "Hey, man, I'm just happy finally admit it, even though I don't like it." But hey, you keep trying to tell us what we want to hear is old. Now you're not even saying none of the above of Super Bowls and things like that. Yeah, we fell short of or what we're trying to. Nah. So, Steeler fans, Steeler Nation, where you at? How you feel about Art Rooney and the comments that he made? And if you didn't hear the comments that he made, the interview is in the videos. The Art Rooney one-on-one press conference or whatever, it's in the videos. Check it out. See what he got to say. If you haven't seen it already, heard it already, come back, let me know what you think, because I just let you know what I think. And I don't think, like I said, I think he's in his lazy boy recliner, leaned back just a little too far. Got the legs up. I mean, a little too comfortable with just being a playoff team thing. But that's me. I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.